Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it would seem that I've had a number of people, after I did my video on tuna, make claims that there's some sort of conspiracy theory on my part because I am a vegetarian who is mostly vegan, I am against eating meat ethically, and because I'm a member of Greenpeace, which a lot of my subscribers actually know, that I link an environmental site intentionally as a conspiracy theory to convince people to not eat tuna, and that the mercury advice in there is way over the top, and that people can safely eat a lot more than that. And the information they cited, because these people are literally too fucking stupid to do 5 minutes of their own independent research, they managed to dig up something from the 1990s, actually 1999, so last millennium, from the FDA saying that it was safe to eat up to 1 kilo of tuna a week. Well, let me clue you people in a little bit. The amount of pollution in the world and in the ocean and the FDA's regulation of this stuff has changed in the last 14 years. I know that's going to come as a big shock, but we actually have more pollution now than we did in the 90s. And they've studied the mercury closer and found the levels are higher than they thought it was since the 1990s. Information actually changes over time as we gather new data. And accordingly, now I'm going to link the calculator again down below. The reason I linked that calculator was not because it was an environmental site. I linked it because it was the easiest reference without making my subscribers dig through 4 or 5 different websites to compile the information themselves. I gave them an easy to use calculator. But now, because people want to claim that there's a conspiracy theory on my part to give you guys information based upon my biased ethics, I'm going to give you guys all of the data, the independent data, so that you can waste hours of your time checking it to make sure that I'm right. So, if you look next, what I link in the next one down, I am going to link the FDA's measurement of the amount of mercury in fish. Different assorted fishes from what they found. And if you look on the far left, that's the mean, the average amount they found in there, and that is per 3 ounces of meat. And if you correlate that information with what you find on those calculators, they're very, very similar. So that website actually pulled most of their data from the EPA and the FDA's information. They didn't just make it up themselves. Then if you go next, we look at the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization recommends for women who are potentially going to be pregnant women and small children, that they consume no more than 1.6 micrograms per kilogram of body weight per week of methylmercury from fish. Which means a 50-kilo woman in that situation shouldn't consume more than a week. There's more than that in 1 3-ounce can of tuna. This is because we know that it causes neurological problems in developing fetuses and in growing children, that it can cause brain damage and problems developing your nervous system and brain if you exceed this amount. Now for adult men, which is 17 and up, they say you can safely consume twice that amount. So that is 3.2 micrograms per kilogram. So that means you can consume, if you're a 100-kilo bodybuilder, you can safely consume, according to the World Health Organization, 320 micrograms of methylmercury per week as the safe limit. Well, some types of tuna, that's 1 can. Other types, you can get away with 2.5 cans per week. Depends on the type of tuna, and some of that is broken down on the charts. And now, I'm going to teach you guys how to be proper conspiracy theorists. Now, if any of you guys read Alex Jones or any of this other shit, you would know that the standard conspiracy theorist line is that the World Health Organization, being an Illuminati agency, want to get more mercury into people. They want unsafe levels of mercury into people. So a proper conspiracy theorist would say that that 2 cans of tuna that they're saying you can eat per week is actually a lie, that they would be intentionally giving you an unsafe limit of mercury, because that is the standard thing, if you read, is that the World Health Organization is trying to put more mercury into people through vaccination so that they'll be autistic and so that they will die younger, so that they can follow the Illuminati guidelines on the Georgia Guidestones to reduce the world population by 90%, because the standard conspiracy theorist line is that they want to reduce the world population by 90%, so they need to kill people off with poisonings and mercury and other things. So a proper conspiracy theorist would say, well, clearly that 2 cans of tuna is unsafe. We shouldn't be eating any tuna because they're trying to poison us with mercury, telling us it's okay to eat 2 cans of tuna a week. Those evil, Illuminati, Satan-worshipping bastards. Okay, so that's what a proper conspiracy theorist would have said. They would have said that I'm trying to poison people, telling them that it's okay to eat 2 cans of mercury and that I'm following the World Health Organization's master plan to depopulate the earth. So as you can see, all these government agencies, their guidelines fall in line with what I'm saying. But I'm going to prove to you that I'm not trying to put mercury into you. I ethically don't think you should eat fish at all. But I'm trying to be scientific about it and tell you what the safe limits are. My personal ethics, I think eating meat is wrong, period. But I try to leave that out of these discussions on fitness. But I'm telling you, according to the data, there is a safe amount of different fishes that you can get away with according to the scientific data without being at risk of mercury poisoning or bone cancer later in life. While I was doing a quick Google search for these organization stuff, I came across Lyle McDonald's stuff, who is someone I like to reference from time to time. He is an expert who is more well known than me, and here's his information, and it's fairly close to all the other information I linked. So there you have it, coming from another person who, as far as I know, isn't a vegetarian, isn't an environmentalist, who is effectively telling you the same thing based upon the science. So hopefully that dispelled any conspiracy theories that I am a vegan hippie who is trying to use this mercury information to stop you from eating meat because of my own ethical beliefs. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.